Hello everybody, thanks for dropping by. Today we're going to be reviewing the Unigear bug net. It's a hammock bug net, and for those of you who know hammocks, you know what this thing is, what these are. If you're not a hammock follower, what it is basically is you've all seen a hammock. A hammock hangs out there in the open between two trees, two posts, whatever, but you're subjected to the elements, and if there's bugs out there, mosquitoes are going to get you. What this is just a shell. It hangs up from the same poles, trees, whatever, and then you put your hammock inside it, and frustrates the bugs to no end. Anyhow, I'm a little excited about this product because it's not something that what we don't come across is a product that meets your expectations, meets an inexpensive price, and has a company that stands behind their product. This meets all of those. This thing is an incredible piece of equipment. It is as good as any I have seen out there. And I've seen some of the ones that go in 2 or 3 times as much money as this thing does. This thing sells for $27.99 on Amazon. The company gives a lifetime warranty on it. It's a limited lifetime warranty, so it's basically to the original purchaser. But trust me, they stand behind the warranty. And I will tell you a mishap that I had with my first one. This is the second one I've had. The first one I had a problem with it. It wasn't them, it was something I did, and they still stood behind it. I'll tell you about that at the end of the video here. This thing is 132 inches long by 55 inches high. It's designed for an 11-foot hammock. If you've got a 12-footer and you've got a ridgeline on it, I can pretty much say it's going to fit in there, because with my 11-footer and my ridgeline on it at 83% of the full length, there's more than a foot. There's about 1.5 feet, 2 feet to spare when you stretch out both ends. Incredible. It's very large, but it weighs in at 1.4 pounds. I think they said. I'm not quite sure if that's the shipping weight or the weight of the thing itself. It feels like it's about 1.25 pounds or so. Not being the type of person who does any hiking anymore, I'm not too concerned about weight. I'm concerned about performance, and this performs, but it doesn't feel too heavy. It also comes in its own stuff sack, which is actually a compression sack, and this will actually compress down to the size of a softball. Not too bad. Anyhow, let's get this out on the patio. Let me get it set up, and I'll show you what we've got. Well, I got it set up for you. I have one of my 11-foot hammocks inside it here, and it fits nicely. If you had a 12-footer and you're using a ridgeline, you could probably quite easily fit it in there. As you can see, there's a lot more space here, and I'm just pulling on this end. You still can pull on that end too, so there's plenty of space. And if you had a 12-footer, I think you could get it in this thing. This thing is actually fairly massive inside, and I will take you inside in a minute here and show you what it's like inside. It does have the horizontal zip right here, as opposed to the vertical zip. And everybody seems to like the vertical, but I personally prefer the horizontal for a number of reasons. First and foremost is when you're in your hammock, you're trying to get out this way. Your legs down here, you swing them out, your head up here, what have you. You can zip that thing away and just get out comfortably and easily. This drops away. Also, when you're in here, and let's just say it's a nice day and you don't need the net, but you got the netting up here and you've got your paraphernalia in and under it, so you don't want to take it completely slide it off. You do is you just take this thing and you can toss it up over, and it'll come up over there and give you a nice opening there. Another thing too is if you're inside the net here, and you need to, and you've got maybe something outside you want to get at, you can unzip the zipper and reach out and get your breakfast and whatever else you want is down here. With the vertical zip, you can't do that. But you know, everybody has their own opinion. I guess to each his own. I prefer this the way it is. And I'm going to set this camera in a fixed position, and I want to show you the zipper. I'm going to unzip it, and I also want to show you something interesting about this netting. You can have for the netting, unzip quite easily. And we'll unzip the entire length. But you can see, you can just take this, toss it up and over, and you open yourself up This drops well out of the way, and you open yourself up to a nice, pleasant visit to the atmosphere outside here. You know. You can get to your, like I said, you can get to your stuff next to the hammock, or you just want to get some air in there. Well, here's one of the things I wanted to show you about this. This material, it stretches. Look at this. If you had a vertical zipper, you wouldn't be able to get that to stretch. But this stuff stretches pretty nicely. It doesn't stretch so much this way, horizontally. Not at all. And it is designed to stretch this way. Pretty interesting. And when you get in there, this is a 6.5 foot wide hammock. You get in there with this on it, it's going to pull the bottom of this up quite a ways. And this stretching comes into play, and I'm glad I got it that way. Let me get inside and we'll see what the visions are from the inside of this thing. This is what it's like inside. Lots of room. There's lots of room in here with this netting. And this is, as I said earlier, this is 11 foot by about 6.5 foot wide hammock, and it's, well, I'm not using the full 6.5 feet of it. You can see I'm kicking this thing way over, and the net is still quite slack. I mean, it's not really stressed out yet at all. We haven't maxed it out a bit. Pretty nice. All right, before we go away and close this portion of the video out, I want to show you how this thing just slides right on over. Slips on over very easily. Now when I'm using it, I generally take these end ones off, let them hang. That way I get less stress on this here. But I have tried it with it on there, and it's just works just fine. But I just feel a little more comfortable knowing I'm not going to be stressing this here and see if it tears or anything. Although this stuff is pretty bulletproof, it seems like. Although, as I will explain a little later, I did have a mishap with an original one, and it was my fault, not their fault. And it did tear. Well, there you have it. I could go on and, as I normally do at this point of the review, and go through all kinds of pluses and minuses and what have you. There's hardly anything I can say that's a minus about this thing. I will say this, that, as I said earlier, this is as good as any, absolutely any bug net I've seen on the market. I mean, I've seen ones 2 and 3 times as much. I've seen some that go over $100 for the netting. And at $27.99, this will perform as much as well as any of those. It actually outperforms a lot of them with the stretchiness and give and what have you. The quality of the material it's made of, the way it's put together, the workmanship, you can't beat that. And again, at $27.99, that's pretty darn good. Now, there are a couple things. There are 2 items that, to me, I would like to see a change on. One is this bag is attached right at the very bottom of the unit. And unless you hang your hammock real high and the bug net real high, it's going to drag on the ground. I mean, that's going to happen. Ants and what have you can crawl up, and even if you've got your own little fly sheet down below there to step out on, they still can find a way to this and climb up on it. They can't get in, but they can climb up on it, and it makes it a pain trying to get them off. But they're all doing that. They all have them hung on the bottom. I would say hang it off to the side somewhere, or I'd probably be thinking of taking it and separating it completely. I don't really need to be connected to this thing, and I'll just hang this on the with the other bags, and then when I'm ready to pack it up, stuff it in here. The other thing that I did notice that I've seen in all the others too is on the end where it cinches down and closes down on the line for you. It closes down on the line, but not quite as snugly as I would like to see it. That may be something we just can't do. I mean, we're looking at a line that's thinner than my fingers here, and an opening that starts this large, and we're trying to suck this thing down. Maybe if the opening was a little smaller, but if it was, then it would be difficult to slide over the hammock and stuff. So I think that's the thing that we're just going to have to live with. Now, I did tell you that I was going to tell you a mishap I had with one of these. Went out camping the first time I got the thing out, and stiff winds came by. I mean, really stiff winds, and I should have known better. I thought, well, you know, I'm going to try putting this thing up. Took it out of the bag, and I had had it in the backyard in a bag and gone into it, and I went out, hung it in it. And when I put it back together, I did not zip it closed. So when I got it on the backyard, got it at the campgrounds, the wind kicking up, and I thought, I can handle this. Got it out and forgot about that zipper being open, and it caught it like a sail and just ripped it out of my hands. Looked up in a tree, and it's up in a tree. You know, I'm trying to figure a way to get this thing out of there, and it was at that point where I just said, you know, it's not coming down. But I was able to get up and grab some of it. So I just jerked on it, and when I did, I tore apart the seams with it. Around the edges, the seams came apart. Which, by the way, my wife repaired, and when you're done with it, you can't tell there was ever any damage to it. However, in the meantime, I get an email from the company who sells these products, and they asked me how I liked it, and I didn't respond. They again wrote a second email to me, wanted to ask me how I liked the product, and I think they were fishing for a review or something. And again, I didn't respond because, you know, I didn't want to tell them that I didn't get a chance to use it. On the third time around, I thought, well, you know, these people are pretty diligent here, and they're trying to find out something else. So I answered them. And I told them, quite frankly, that it was damaged, and it was my fault, it wasn't theirs, and that, you know, I never did get a chance to use the thing. Well, I quickly got an email back from these people telling me how sorry they were that I was able to use it, and then another one was in the mail on the way to me. So I quickly wrote back to them to try to halt them because I didn't want them to send this thing to me without, you know, it was my fault, without paying for it. I'd buy another if I had to, which was my intentions were. Anyhow, they sent back an email to me telling me that it was already in the mail, there was nothing I could do about it, they could do about it to stop it, and that they wanted me to have the thing. They stood behind damages done to this by me. So, I mean, what more can you ask of a company? I mean, that was just great. I really like that. Now, I will say one thing about this, and this is what really makes it interesting, is the fact that I actually got, and you've heard me talk about a site called Vipon.com. I actually purchased this off of Vipon.com. Got it at Amazon, but I go through Vipon, which is basically a kind of a coupon site where they give you promotional codes, and you put these codes in, and then you get the product at whatever those promotionals were. This was $5 and change, folks. $5 and change. Now, they pop up every so often at that price. I've seen them 3 times. I haven't seen them in probably 6, 7 months. I've had this, 7, 8 months now. I haven't seen it in last 6 or 7 months, but keep an eye out because it may still pop up that way. Or others might pop up too. And anytime you're going to purchase something there at Amazon, go there first, see if there's something available that you won't find, and what have you. I just couldn't believe the price on this. It cost them more to mail a new one to me, and they still guaranteed it, and they stood behind it. You gotta love the people for that. So, next round, we're going to revisit somebody, that product that I had about a year ago I showed you folks. I'll give you a heads up, it wasn't a review. It's the Sabito undercoat. At that time I told you folks I was going to try it out, see what I could do, how I liked it. That thing at the time was a $28 item. Tonight, now it's $29 and some change. In fact, I got an email yesterday from the company telling me if I wanted to buy any more, that they were now $29 and whatever cents it was, but they're under $30. But when I did the original review, and it was a review, it was a heads up to let you folks know that it was available, and so a lot of people did go out and buy it at that. Now I've got some testing, some hours behind me with this thing. I've used it and enjoyed it, and it has its ups, it has its downs, but it's still a real good value. I will tell you in my next video what I found in that and how well it works and what doesn't work. Anyways, thanks for coming by, and if you're interested in getting one of these items, I will have the link at the bottom for Vipon. I will also have the link at the bottom for the bug net, so you can go directly and buy a bug net. If it's not available through Vipon, you might want to wait a little bit, but if you really need a bug net, $27.99, don't waste time, just go buy the darn thing. They seem to have a lot of them because they've been there since I purchased this constantly, never running out of the product. Some of the other products, such as the Savito here, when I bought that, those people ran out of this thing all the time, but these guys seem to always have enough ready to go. Anyways, thanks for coming by, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.